Welcome back to Make Money Online, and today the big news. Listen to this. Silence. Magic. We don't need XRP at 0.5. At the moment, I don't need a new chair. But what is today's video about? It's about the XRP explosion of 40% up to 0.42 of a dollar. So, like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos. So, the last time XRP reached an all-time high was $384 in 2018. Now, though analysts have predicted its rise, there is optimism in some circles about the chances of the coin breaking out of its low levels to as high as 0.4 or 0.5 of the dollar. Now, some predictions have put it at values that are relatively such as between $1 to $5. Now, though the most realistic value of its predictions has always been left below a dollar due to the fact that it's at its current value of 0.35 of a dollar, which does make sense. Now, despite the lawsuit, it is business as usual with XRP and Ripple, as the payment system still makes use of XRP to facilitate transactions. Now, while still maintaining its cheap and fast network, and with the pandemic persisting everywhere in the world, more banks are expected to adopt Ripple as a viable transaction system as it transforms the world's payment setup. Now, additional partnerships with some of the big banks and of course the financial institutions are also expected to increase XRP beyond its current levels to around 0.6 or maybe even 0.7 in 2021. Now, these of course are mere projections, but the most feasible option at the time is an explosion to around about the 0.42 mark. Now, take a look at this chart, and it shows the price breaking through the first target price level of 0.3 as it rises above the upper trend line. Now, this has happened during the weekend. A white arrow was drawn to show the potential direction of its rise towards a third target price, which is up there at 0.45, which will represent a total, wait for it, of 120% increase from its closing price of 0.2 back in 2020. That's not that long ago. Now, if the price consolidates above the upper trend support, we expect it to go higher than it already is. So, pot pickers, if Ripple starts an explosion, it could face a lot of hurdles, starting with, of course, 0.3120. Now, the first major resistance for the bulls is near about the 0.3250 level. Now, the main resistance is now forming near the 0.35 mark and the bearish trend line around there. Now, a close above the 0.35 zone could then lead the price upwards towards the 0.42 level in the near term. Now, if there are more losses, the price could test the 0.2750 support and the 100 simple moving average, the 4-hour one. So the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, you know what I mean, of the upward move from the 0.2190 swing low to 0.3, 0.37 swing high is also near the 0.3 mark. So, if you take a look at the next major support on the downside, it's forming near the 0.25 level. Now, this chart shows the price of contracting between two trend lines and forming a new structure. The price support level has been supported by the lower trend line of the structure. Price managed to make a breakout to the upper side and the price attained the first target at the 0.3 mark. So if the price continues to hold above this support, as we expect the price to move higher, its price has already risen about 50% from its initial price of 0.22, so it's getting there. Now, according to predictions, the value of the Ripple XRP token could explode to 0.42 by the very end of February, consolidating maybe around the 0.58 mark as we devolve further into 2021 and achieving a mean price of $2.32 by the end of 2021. Now, in addition to the growing list of believers in the development of XRP, and they are out there and they are really growing, and they're all sticking to their optimistic outlook, claiming they expect the price of XRP could potentially hit $2.50 at some point this year, if all things pan out. Of course, a big if. Now, another analyst predicted that the price of XRP will reach about 0.95 before the end of 2021, representing an increase of around 380% on its current price of 0.27 for an XRP. Now, That's a hard word, this. Another analyst is also optimistic about XRP's prospects in 2021, and it predicts that the price will hit close to 0.33 by the end of February next month. Take a look at this chart. Now this chart shows the XRP USD price trend as predicted for XRP in 2021. Now it documents a trend line from its peak at 0.71 in November up until the date. So it reflects the establishment of a downward sloping support line for the crypto as a trend line proceeds towards the end of the year. Now a second trend line was established above the price trend line, representing a triangle which gave the price trend line a wedge-like pattern, and it closed at the edge of the upper trend line at which it was expected to rise or fall. Now if it were to fall, it was not expected to fall below the lowest sloping trend line, though that would mean the price of XRP to drop as low as 0.11, 0.11. However, if it were to rise, the analysts predict two price target levels. Target 1 is valued at 0.30, while the target 2 was set as high as 0.38. Now we think the coin will probably hit the second target at 0.38. Now this chart shows the potential of XRP to break through a new resistance line set at that 0.38 mark as it aims for a possible high of 0.46. Now Ripple's ready to go higher because the price bounced from its support zone and probably can reach resistance level soon, and the price can break it and go up to that resistance zone. So Ripple almost hit 0.4 of a dollar after the breakout on the 7th of January. But on the upside, the 200 simple moving average limited movement. Now, in the meantime, XRP is trading around 0.27 whilst buyers fight to take control over the price. 0.3 seems to be the pivotal level that must be kept intact to avoid attracting high overhead pressure. XRP holders can still hold at 0.4 because breaking above the critical level would pave the way for gains then shooting above 0.6 of a dollar. So take a look at this chart and it shows the prospects of XRP. Now the bulls took control again of XRP, Ripple XRP, and pushed slightly. Now will we have another explosion week for Ripple XRP? Or is it time for a deep retest before the bullish trend resumes? Ripple XRP formed an objective, valid symmetrical triangle in red. So let's see if we'll get another impulse now. Now our trigger for the buy is after a momentum candle close above the last swing high. That's 0.33 for extra confirmation. And if the last swing low is broken down with a momentum candle, then we can expect a retest up to around our lower green zone. Now the triangle's broken, but there is still not enough trading volume to develop a strong movement. The momentum's not there. In this case, as you can see, we'll be looking for a new buy setups to form. So take a look at this XRP chart and we can see that XRP did not have a sustained breakdown of the head and shoulders pattern. Now, whilst the price did briefly break down below the neckline of that pattern, it did quickly recover back above it. So since then, XRP has printed this Adam and Eve formation on the chart, and you can see the dotted blue resistance level that it will have to surpass to make that breakout. Now, if we do see an upside breakout of this pattern, the first major resistance level that it'll find will be at 0.37. From there, there's more resistance at 0.38 and then again at 0.39. Now, the size of this Adam and Eve pattern has a price target above those levels at the 0.4 mark, but we'll have to observe how price responds to that overhead resistance if we do see an upside breakout. Now this chart aims pretty high on the prospects of XRP long term by making comparisons with past years. Now if you start on the left side of the chart, you can see that XRP printed a high in late 2014 and then entered a long sideways movement that lasted up until about early 2017. Now a support was established around the 0.0045 region at the green base and a falling level of resistance shown by the pink falling trend line. Now that overall structure is similar to what we're seeing today. So digging further into the formation in 2016, we can see that when the price broke out above the falling pink trend line, the rally was capped by a test of the 23.6 retrace. From there, the price returned to the top of the falling pink trend line and held it continuously as support for about 100 days. Now during that time, XRP also fell below the 50-week moving average orange trend line. Then XRP exploded higher, rallying exactly to the 2.618 retrace. From there we saw a pullback and then another rally, and this time exactly to the 16 retrace. Now the price entered a sideways correction followed by yet another explosive rally, which ultimately capped off at the 128 retrace. Now the apparent coincidence is really fascinating. But if we compare that to the current structure, we can see that it's still extremely similar. So, as long as XRP can hold continuous support on the pink trend line, it has a pattern in place. If that pattern persists, the next thing to expect would be an explosive rally. And where could that explosive rally take us? Well, if it were to mimic the 2017 rally, and we've no reason to believe that it won't, because the market structure is the same now as it was back then, we should expect the first stop to be the 2.618 retrace again, around $9. From there, I'd expect a rather large pullback, followed by another push to the 16 retrace around $55. From there, it'll stabilise and explode higher again up to the 128 retrace, which is at about, I'm going to hold my breath here, $445. Now, this is one heck of an outcome that Ripple investors can look forward to, as we hope that the pattern is replicated. Now, the current chart correlates almost perfectly with the structure of the early 2014 to early 2017 era. So, there technically is, from a technical basis, no reason to believe that it won't continue to correlate, until we can see that there is clear deviation of the pattern. Who knows for sure, but let's watch it. Now, most of the US-based exchanges have halted XRP trading by January the 15th, but exchanges outside the US don't seem to be much bothered about this lawsuit, and they've extended support to Ripple and XRP. In fact, many exchanges even saw XRP taking the top spot in terms of daily traded volume, above Bitcoin, which is currently selling at a premium on many exchanges. Only investors lunging in via these exchanges then have the upper hand. Take a look at this chart. Now, it shows XRP's potential as we drift further into 2021, and it indicates a potential fall in 2021, though this happened much earlier in December 2020. One thing holds. Now, the arrow pointing upwards after the 2021 mark suggested its potential for a bullish run as the year progressed. Now, we've had a bullish run and a consolidation in 2021 at the 0.31 mark. Now, the year is barely just getting started. The coin may be down, but it's not out. It's already begun to show signs of a major comeback. So, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do like listening to a nutty posh bloke spouting on like our friend Jack does, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to click on that notification bell. What else would you like us to discuss on XRP? Would you like me to get a new chair? Would you like me to get even posher? Please let me know your answers by placing them in the comment section below. I love to read your comments. And whilst you're here, do go ahead and click on one of the other videos on your screen. We'll see you guys next time.